Hey you guys, Pat Dennis here with Synaptic Advisory Partners, and today we're going to be going through a demonstration of how somebody could use the Salesforce.com platform as well as our application Eureka to do a little bit of field ticketing entirely on or offline in the field while we're out doing some sort of field service type of work. So let's just dive right into the use case and we'll talk about how we might be able to improve this process that might be currently done on something like paper. So in this use case, we're going to pretend as though we're an oil field services company and we're responsible for going out into the field, perhaps to oil wells or other remote job sites, almost certainly without internet connectivity. And what we do out there is we're going to be replacing parts, maybe installing new equipment, conducting inspections or testing existing equipment. And then when we're done with all those services, we need to be able to sort of total up all of our different line items that we've done for our work today and present that ticket to the site manager for a bit of sign off. And then when we're done with that, what we're going to need to do is return that ticket back into some sort of system. In this case, we'll be using Salesforce for processing. And so there's, like we said, a lot of different ways that companies today are doing this, and we want to show you a better way that you might be able to use Salesforce and Eureka to accomplish this type of business process or need. So the demo flow today is going to be that we're going to start inside of Salesforce. We're going to use the Eureka mobile app to generate a ticket, and we're going to go through a couple of different processes. We're going to complete an inspection and fill out the ticket without internet connectivity. And then when we're done, we're going to go back to the office where we have internet connection, and we're gonna send that back to Salesforce seamlessly. It's going to update everything for us, dashboards, reports, any system automation, all of it. So with that said, I'm going to hop on over here into an example Salesforce environment where we can kind of see a couple of different pieces of information. As you can see here on the screen, we've got a whole list of different tickets that have been submitted into the system. And the one that we're about to do from the field is going to look a lot like these. But just to get us oriented, we are using an object here called tickets, and that's what's allowing us to kind of house all this information about the services and products that we're doing out there in the field. So let's move over into our mobile application. This is the Eureka mobile app where we can simply select from any variety of different templates. You can see I have a bunch here for a lot of different demos, but today we're going to be using one called Field Ticket Weld Inspection. And so here what we're actually able to do is we can open up this screen that allows us to generate a brand new ticket here. And what actually we'll want to do is I'm actually going to turn this offline. So we'll cut the internet connectivity from my mobile device, and this is going to allow us, even so, to be able to go out to the field without connectivity and generate this entire ticket for us. So the first thing we're going to do as we generate this ticket is we'll fill out the name of the company that this is for. So I'm out there and I found one called Peterson Industries. This is where we're going on site, and we'll call this the Peterson ticket. And we'll click next here, and this is going to allow us to kind of go through a whole series of inspections that we are responsible for doing. In this case, this is the weld inspection template. So what we're going to be able to do is just kind of go through and check to make sure that everything checks out on this particular weld that we're inspecting. So as you can see here already, we are presenting the user with some helpful information about what they might be seeing in the field, what maybe looks okay or what doesn't look okay, what we need to be looking out for to really make sure that we're setting them up for success while they're out here in the field. So the next thing we're going to do is just double check to see if there are if we're passing or failing any of these next couple of questions. So here we're checking to see if there's any longitudinal or transverse cracks in the weld, and we'll actually say that that this fails. Maybe we are observing one. And so what we're going to be able to do now is you can see we're able to actually present additional questions based on answers to those previous questions. And so by selecting fail, we actually opened up a whole new set of questions that we now want the user to fill out. So here we'll actually see cracks are visible on the weld. So we type that in there, and then maybe we want to actually prompt the user to take a photograph of this. So I've got a quick photo here of a weld that's cracking just on my computer screen. So bear with me here. But we're going to save that photo here, and now if I want to jump in here and actually mark up the photo, we can open it up and annotate it, add text if we want to, anything that we need in order to accurately capture the notes for this particular photo is just fine. And then when we're back here inside of the questionnaire, we can keep on moving and answering questions. So the next couple of questions will say that they all actually pass, but we could certainly bury additional conditionally displayed questions if these were to fail also. So we're done with our inspection, so now we just need to kind of tally up all the work that we did out here. Turns out we actually did a couple of other things, replaced some products, did an installation of a new product or new piece of equipment. We're going to tally up all of those right here. So the first thing I want to do is just indicate the names of the products that we worked with here. So I'm going to open up and be able to select from a wide variety of different products in our system. Again, we have our entire product catalog that's primed to our device right now. So we can select anything we need to, and you can see there that the unit price is actually already populated in there. So we know how much it costs based on this contract or based on this price book that we happen to be pulling from. We'll say that we replaced 2 of those swing check valves today. And you can see we're doing a little bit of math here. So the line item total for this one would be 2 of those valves at $201 each. So that's $402 total. And we're good to go. We're going to add another product here. So you can see this is actually a 4-inch groove swing check valve. And we only added 1 of those today. And so you can see we're tallying up that line item total as well. We're going to bill them for a couple of our services that we engaged in as well. So we did a quick installation here. So there's installation, and we did 1 of those today. So there's that line item total going up. And then we'll also charge them for the actual weld inspection that we did. So we'll select that one there too. We did 1 of those today. So there's another $500. So you can kind of see all the different products and all the different services that we're adding here in one single screen. And then finally, some of our customers like to enter time entries. So here we'll actually pick the name of the person that this time entry is for. Well, maybe we got here 12 hours ago, and so this is a full 12-hour shift that we were out here doing this work. And we can add 1 more time entry if we want to as well. I know that Paolo was out here with me, so we'll enter Paolo in here, and he came at the exact same time that I did early this morning. So we got some time entries, some services, and some products all together. So finally, I just need to present this to the site manager. So here we can see the entire product total, the services total, and then adding those 2 together gives us the grand total of $2,603. That site manager is present, so we'll just collect their first and last name. Let's say their name is Dan Smith, for example, and we'll quickly get their signature. Sometimes when we talk to customers, it's important for us to be able to collect the photo of a stamp to verify that this is in fact a valid ticket. I'm going to skip over that for the sake of time here. And then the final thing that we're going to do is just indicate that we are submitting this ticket. Now I'm going to go up here and just quickly click Submit. And what's going to happen is the whole form in its entirety is now saved to our device. You can see there's the one right there in the middle. Oops. It's the one right there in the middle with the orange border around it. That basically is saying, you know, we aren't able to submit this ticket yet because we don't have any internet connectivity. But as soon as we get back to the office, we can re-establish connectivity. And all that data is then going to be passed back to Salesforce. Updating dashboards, updating reports, firing off automation. Like you can see there, there's a brand new ticket that's just been submitted to the system. And then when we actually go back over into Salesforce, what we'll see is that that's actually now been updated here. So we can refresh our page, and there we go with Peterson as a new ticket. You can now click in here and see that dollar figure has been added, the total hours on shift, as well as all the products and all the services and the time entries gathered up in a single group here in one single view. So it's a really helpful way for us to be able to go out without internet connectivity, generate all these line items, do a quick inspection, and then pass the data all the way back here. And if we ever have any questions about the entire inspection as a whole, we can click in and actually we see these forms as they were presented to the user on their mobile application. So it's very easy for us to jump in and see exactly what was filled out, all the way down to the question by question and even the photos. So that level of detail is offered to us as well. So it's very powerful to be able to push all that data back into Salesforce. And then obviously that's really helpful on an individual basis. But when we roll everything up together, you can obviously see how using Salesforce reports and dashboards, we're allowed to quickly kind of refresh our dashboards here and see all the tickets that are being submitted, where they are in terms of their life cycle, as well as what products and services are being utilized most often out there in the field by our field personnel. So it's extremely powerful for us to be able to understand at the high level kind of what the different KPIs are that we need to be monitoring right here from a dashboard. The final thing that we will do here is I'll just show you kind of how these form templates are created. So we can see here we did that weld inspection template. Right here inside of Salesforce, we can actually make changes to these form templates. And so what I'm going to do is I actually want to add a question or two to this weld inspection for the next time that we go out and do this. So I'm actually going to click Edit, and we'll copy for a new version here. And when we do that, it's going to open up what we call the template editor or the canvas. And this is where we can essentially drag and drop new questions onto the form that allow us to make adjustments to the existing template that we have, like I said, for future inspections. So here, let's just say that this is version 1.3. And when we open this guy up, what we want to do is actually drag another question on here to say, you know, how many personnel are on site at the moment. And we can just have that be a number field, and we'll click Save. And it's as easy as that to add questions, you guys. And immediately we can preview this form and see what it looks like to have that brand new question set up here. Now what we can do is close this guy out and publish the template. And immediately now this template is made available to our field users back on their mobile devices. So if I head back over to my mobile application, what we'll be able to see here is it's just syncing the most recent templates. But if I need to go back out to a new job site, what I can do is go offline once more, and then I can immediately go in and use that weld inspection 1.3 instead of 1.2. We'll generate a brand new ticket for this new company, but here we are with our brand new form template. So as we fill this out for the next group called Davenport Industries, for example, call this Davenport ticket. We can see here that there's 5 personnel on the job site. So we're immediately collecting this information as we do the next weld inspection. So it's very easy for us to deploy new changes to the form as well. So I'm going to stop the demo here. Hopefully this has been really helpful for you guys to understand how we could accomplish this particular use case of field ticketing in the field without internet connectivity. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us or visit us online at eureka.io to learn more.